All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to tonight's episode of Ravenloft Mist-Fits. I'm Johnny, I'm the DM. Sorry for the late start. We wanted to make sure that we had everything all squared away. But anyways, list of the cast names, socials, and pronouns. You can check out the the chat or the episode description, ! Cast is to see them. Follow us, subscribe to the channel if you want. If you are here with Twitch or YouTube, participate in the chat. We have a Discord too if you want to join, as well as the fact that if you're listening on a podcast, please give us 5 stars, give us a review. We'd love to hear what you think. Zach is not here right now. He is stuck at work. So, you know what works well?
What, Johnny?
I'm going with this work. Roll20. Roll20 works really well. Right now, we're talking about creating magic items, and I just searched up how to create a magic item, and look at that. It's right here in the compendium for Xanathar's Guide to Everything. You too can have Xanathar's Guide to Everything and all of your wildest dreams if you use Roll20. Yay. All right, thanks Roll20. And then we also want to thank Siren's Gate for allowing us to use our awesome music app. It is incredible. A lot of good stuff in here. You can upload your own audio. You can use the audio that they have for the Curse of Strahd campaign. Check it out. There's a link in the chat in the episode description. If you follow the link and you become a Super Siren subscriber, you can also support our channel. So, outside of that, let's get into a recap. Last session was a bit of a doozy here. And y'all decided to head over to the hunting lodge and kill the huntress, just in case she was going to show up in the final confrontation at Castle Ravenloft. So you set up a plan where Lumari would enter in the lodge invisible and assassinate the huntress, while everyone else would stand nearby, ready to jump in if anything went wrong. Lumari, you entered the lodge, headed upstairs, and found the library where the huntress was staying. You knocked on the door to get her attention and was able to teleport inside because You have Starlight Step, and that's an ability, not a spell, which is pretty sweet. But you were able to get her attention, in which case she became suspicious of what was happening. And since no one was at the door, she grabbed her bow and yelled out to everyone that something was going on, which then put the other hunters on high alert. That was when you stabbed her with your short sword, and Lumari then tried to play it off as if they were Strahd, but the huntress quickly caught on, and the rest of the hunters rushed up to the library. It was a wild encounter until everybody started one by one joining the fight. It was very intense, but some very close calls. Only stayed as close calls as you were all able to make it out, killing the huntress and the rest of the hunters as we sim through the rest of the combat, because, you know, y'all are level 15, and as long as Lumari didn't die right there, y'all were gonna win. So, after all of that, a few of you jumped into the portable hole, and Citron teleported each of you back to the underwater cave, where you all now stay, getting ready for the next couple weeks before the wedding. So, with that, what would you all like to do?
I have a question.
Yes. I have an
Did we
answer.
get anything cool from looting the huntress?
There wasn't much in there outside of like her bow, which her bow was a +1 bow.
Ooh.
Outside of that, there really wasn't much. It was just
Okay.
a hunting lodge.
Armor.
Yeah. Oh, there was silvered weapons and silver ammo, if you'd like to take that as well. There was a
I want her
long
books.
list of them, so yeah, you could take some of her books. They're about, you could take her journal, which was about you know, her previous hunts and, you know, her wildest things that she was able to capture or kill or what have you.
Okay.
But outside of that, it was just basic hunting stuff.
Cool.
I want some silver ammo
Okay.
and her bow.
You can have silver ammo.
Yeah, you can take the bow.
You can take the bow.
Wasn't there a thing of armor that we were going to give to Sorsha?
Already did. As far
Okay.
as this goes, I already put it in the character sheet, so we're all good.
Sick.
So, as far as we are all concerned, you have finished a long rest. You are now officially level 15. So, if that is a part of the conversation, whatever you all decide to do, we are making this a open and general time where each of you can talk about what you're doing or what you would like to do in order to prepare yourselves for the wedding.
I am going to be crafting a lot.
Woo!
I take all of the gold that we got, if whatever anyone gives me, and immediately like go down, just muskrat down into my
Incredible.
portable hole full of like crafting materials and
Love
just covered in soot and solder and all this stuff the whole time.
Amazing. All right. While Beatrice is focusing on repairs and not repairs, making magic
Creation.
items, creation,
Fabrication.
fabrication. Yes, that's a good one. What is everyone else doing?
I know what I would like to do. If no one else wants to go first.
Sure.
I would like to speak with my mother.
Absolutely. So, you are all here huddled in the underwater cave. Are you jumping directly into talking, or are you going to wait until the next day? What are you planning to do?
I think it's, it's still like we've long rested after all of the hustle and bustle.
Sure.
So kind of maybe like morning after whatever our breakfast constitutes of.
Okay. All right. You're each eating breakfast, and you can tell that she's looking around, not uncomfortable, but just in awe of what you have created here. And sort of, not confused, but in like wonder. It seems like she has a lot of questions in her head as she's looking around.
Technically, we're underwater, so if he tried to get relatively near us, he couldn't because it's running water. We're in the river.
Right, I was wondering. I knew that we were in a cave, but water.
Yes, we're in the lunar river. Yes.
Good.
How are you?
I am in as best of mood as I have been in for quite some time. How are you?
I am well as well. I am glad that we have not scared you off by collecting you and then immediately murdering a bunch of people. It is very heartening that you weren't put off by that factor of the whole equation.
To be fair, they
Weren't good people.
sort of deserved it, yeah.
Yes, quite. I have a multitude of questions, and I do not know which
Okay,
to
so
start
do
with.
I.
Okay, great. Which one do you want to like go back and forth?
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Okay, great.
You go first.
Oh, how do I? You're alive?
Was
That was
that your question?
No, no, that was an obvious statement of the fact. I'm just from everything that I have
Right.
heard thus far, all the other dusk elf.
Ah, right, yes. The elephant in the room.
That one, yes. Maybe that's a
Wow,
bad one to
that's-
start with.
Well,
what's,
no,
what's
it's
your
a good
favorite
one to
color?
start with.
Okay.
It's a good one to start with, and a light green is my favorite color.
All right.
Similar to like the moss that you find in the forest. Where do I begin? Should I just start from the beginning then?
I believe we have plenty of time.
Okay, well, my family used to be mushroom farmers back in our homeland, and which is why you saw the mushroom farm in my backyard. My people, our people, had been on the run from Strahd for ever since I was born. My life was hard for the first decades of my life until we finally created a nice community here with people that lived, well, Valakai before it was Valakai. It was, what was it called? Lanston Village? It was so long ago. Centuries. But soon after the war was over, and it seemed that Strahd and his armies were content with the thousands that they murdered to get here. So, Strahd took a liking to one of ours, Petrina Velikovna, and soon after that, well, Petrina was brought back to our village, and We were forced to watch as Rahadin murdered her for conspiring against him while Strahd. And it didn't stop with her. After she was killed, they rounded out each female elf and just began slaughtering them. A genocide led by one of our own. I remember being separated from my parents. I was 10 at the time? No. 20. Soldiers had pulled me to the town square, and all I could hear were screams all around me and people in agony begging for their lives, and we all tried to fight back, but it was a massacre. I was being transferred from one guard to another, and I was just barely able to escape, and I hid in the forest nearby. I stayed there for a few days before, sometime after, when my father found me. He said that he was following the Moonweaver's presence, and we found a home with the Vistani. But soon after that, my father was never the same. After losing his wife and almost losing me, he was a bit broken, so we moved into Valakai, where I was forced to live a hidden life away from peering eyes. We grew mushrooms, and that was actually where I met your father. The Tharn. I named you after him. The Tharn.
The Thorn.
Yes. He would sit outside my window, and we would whisper to each other. We would go out to my hiding place that I stayed in before all of this happened, and we would escape this terrible reality. But soon my father found out and forced me to stay at home. He was consumed by fear, so at the time I was pregnant with you, and Datharn tried to save me, but through helping me escape, my father saw us and called the guards, and after he didn't survive.
Boss.
And this is where you come in. I knew that I couldn't go back to my father, so I went to the only place that I had ever heard of people that would run. I followed the Moonweaver out to the ruins of Berez, where I found Babala's saga. And I was only there for a few months before you came, and she had told me that you were gone. But soon after that, the depression came, and that was when I heard the Moonweaver as clear as I've heard her before. That was when she told me about the powers of her illusion and even more powerful magic to change. And so I left for Valakai and tried to return to my father, where I found him also gone. So I lived there for, I don't know. How old are you?
19, I believe.
19. For 19 years then. Anyways,
Thank you. And I'm sorry.
no, you shouldn't be the one that's sorry. It's me. I should be sorry for even trusting the old hag that she would tell me some sort of truth behind you and your birth.
She is convincing.
Yes.
She's
And-
good at, was good at that.
I do have a question.
Of course.
Did you make her hurt for all that she did?
Yes.
Good.
A lot of us did. There were more of us then, but
Well, it seems that you can't live here without
losing people.
losing people. Death surrounds us each and every day. I guess that's why you need to stay so close to the ones that you love.
I suppose so, yes.
So, well, I've asked my question. Do you have another?
Probably. There's so many that I do not know which to ask first.
Well, as you said, we have plenty of time. It is very good to be here with you and to make up for lost time.
Even with whatever we're about to go do.
Well, I don't think that I can follow you there.
I was not expecting you to in any way.
But if there is any way that I can help before then,
You you know magic, yes?
a good amount, yes.
I don't know that much of it, but I'm trying to figure it out from what I can. Her teachings did not typically work on me. That's why I was in the cage for so long. But I'm trying to figure it out now, and any tutoring that could help would be beneficial. No one here necessarily casts like I do. Beatrice is the closest.
Of course. I would love to help.
Cool.
What do you already know? And she starts to look at your spell book, and
I open my
you
spell
start
book.
to swap
Compare.
notes and begin to
Yeah.
learn new spells at around that time.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, okay, we're not going on break, but we're gonna be doing a hot swap. Zach just got here, so we will be back in like 2 seconds. Okay, so just like be here for 2 seconds. All right. See you in like 2 seconds. Okay, it wasn't 2 seconds. I'm sorry, everybody. I lied.
Liar.
I'm sorry,
everybody.
everyone. All right, Zach's here. Okay.
Hey.
So we are in the moment here where we are basically simming through the next 3 weeks, and trying to figure out what you're doing to prepare. But at around this time, you all begin to hear a shifting in the stone as you see Sorsha is returning back to the group, and we going to welcome back Sorsha. Devin is back to the table.
Yay!
We're so happy to have her.
Yeah.
So, Sorsha finally regroups with everybody after taking the werewolves over to Moonshade, and the group is back together again, and we are stoked about it. So, what do you all want to do
Welcome back.
next?
Welcome back, Devin.
Thank you. I'm trying to center my camera. It's not working.
You're killing it.
Yeah, I'm graceful as can be.
I will do my best with trying to do that, but y'all just figure out what you're doing, and I will do that on my end. Y'all are just gonna see cameras moving. That's all.
Okay. Please fix my face.
I will fix your face.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what's next? Beatrice is making magic items. Vaughn is working on magic learning with their mom.
My mom.
What is let's jump over to Citron. I know you have something, Mika. What is Citron doing during these next couple weeks?
So Citron's definitely taking a few days to make that gosh-forsaken jewel-encrusted bowl that he has been wanting for a while.
Love it.
Stashed in Citron's room in Arkenvostolt, his room isn't messy, it's lived in. It's just got things in it. Lots of things. Citron has been around for several hundred years and has needed to fill his time doing various things, especially things he can just do there, because he has pissed Strahd off so many times that he doesn't go out too often. And one of the things he did for a while there was pottery. And so he goes into his room, digs around a bit, and brings out his little pottery wheel. I don't know anything about pottery outside of the Great Pottery Bake Off on HBO. Bake Off, not the Great Pottery
Throwdown.
Off, whatever it's called. Yeah, Throwdown.
Throwdown.
It's the throwdown.
Throwdown. Thank you for knowing.
You're doing great. You got it right so far.
Yeah, and that's sort of what he's doing. If anyone wants to pop in and see what Citron is doing, but the process is simple. He's got his clay. He spins it. He shapes the bowl, and then he takes the jewels and just sticks them haphazardly in there.
Love it.
Before going to the kiln to heat it up so it's an official bowl that he can place in his bag for later.
Amazing. There is somebody that would be interested in what you're doing. A Ceres Goulon
Knew it.
would love to talk to you. So as you're spinning, a knock on the door of, I assume, your slightly ajar doorway to your room as you see the slick-looking mustache and very just beautiful man looking into your room and saying, "So, Citrin,
So,
have you put any
Saris,
more thought into our discussion before? I am willing to help you in your final fight. Keep that in mind."
You're gonna have to refresh my memory. I'm sorry, it's been a busy week.
Yes.
Lots has happened. I made a new temple. That was pretty cool. Pissed Strahd off some more.
Congratulations. Congratulations twice.
Lots of other things you don't need to know about.
Fair enough.
Or won't care about. I'm not going to pretend you care about any of this.
I always liked you. Very direct. To the point. And that's what I aim to be. Vladimir is the current owner of this dump. But it is a place that...
I'm not correcting you, it's a dump.
You corrected me before, which is why I'm being plain.
It's a dump.
I'm glad we agree. Though it is a dump, there are certain rules that the Dark Lord of Barovia must follow. And so, one of the things that I was hoping is that Vladimir would give me the right to this dump. In exchange, of course, I would help with the final confrontation. Even, I imagine you have allies. Whatever you would need. Whether it be something to aid you, or something to aid them.
Right now, I'm thinking about how useful it might be to have a level in Warlock. I'll be real honest with you right now, Saris. I'm kind of... We both know I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. A lot of this planning thing, I think, mostly goes to Beatrice. I'd be a lot more comfortable if she were here to help me kind of figure shit out. But also, Beatrice is a little evil, so I don't completely trust her. But, you know, I am fond of Beatrice, and that slightly overrides the potential evilness. Why?
Allies.
Yes. Why do you want... If this place is a dump, are you trying to flip it so you can sell it for a high price?
No.
Is this going to be an anchor point for some kind of...
Do you know much about vampires and the rules they must abide?
Unfortunately, yes.
Well, then you would know that they are forbidden to entering anyone's home without clear consent.
Yes.
So, I would like to own this place so that he cannot come in.
Well, he already can't come in.
What do you mean?
Well, okay, no, above table.
Mm-hmm.
I just assumed he couldn't come in since, like, doesn't the army own the castle?
So, before, Strahd for sure just owned all of Barovia. He was the land, so everything was his, right? Now, maybe not. It was Argynvost's, but there's kind of that gray area where if you were to give it to him, then it would become a singular person's property. And therefore...
Right, but we are... I would assume then it would fall to the head of
Right.
us. That he would be the owner.
Right. So Vladimir is what Saris is assuming is the owner of this place at this point. And so
Yeah.
that's he's asking for a change of ownership. Yeah.
All right, so then, yeah, if Vladimir owns it, then Strahd can't get in.
Well, sure, but let's we're being plain. What if he dies? I assume that he's going to be helping you. Then what? I am shit out of luck, and I don't like putting things to luck.
One could
I
draw up a
would very
contract.
much- I can draw up a contract.
A contract that says if Vladimir dies, as soon as he dies, this castle is not like castle, but this fortress is then yours.
That is a good compromise. Would you like me
I
to
think-
draft up a contract then?
I think I would like. I actually don't know if Beatrice is good with. I will consult a few people.
Please, consult the people that you want. This is...
I mean, I need to talk to Vladimir, obviously, but
Sure.
I don't really know what sort of. I don't give a fuck necessarily what you're planning. I suppose if Vladimir dies, then what use does he have for this place? If I die, if we succeed in killing Strahd, Lumar promised to take me to the stars, so that's where I'll be.
The stars. Well, I will get started on writing a contract with those terms. I will, of course, need to have a signature from Vladimir since he is the rightful owner. But consult the people that you will. I will be here.
Excellent.
Good. Well, have fun with your pottery. You can see him, like, moving his fingers, seeing yours covered in clay, and just...
I wave with my clay-covered fingers.
And he just leaves.
Yeah.
Okay. One offer is on the table. One question to Beatrice. Would you want to talk to Saris at all?
I would like to talk to Saris
Okay.
at some point.
Okay.
I
Would
would.
you like to talk to Saris now?
I certainly could. He would have to come to me. I'm certainly not seeking him out.
Remind me, did the item that you gave him, does that still work? Okay, so then you would get a message in your head saying, so, I see that you are staying nearby for the foreseeable future. Would you like to talk?
Saris! Of course. I'm a little occupied, but if you come to me, I'm working in my workshop. I could certainly make a moment for you.
I need to look into Saris's abilities to see if he can actually find you.
Yeah, I don't know. No clue.
This happens over a span of a couple days. I'm sure
I mean,
he can do that.
Doesn't a temple of the gods prevent against divination?
Right. He's not trying to find it. He's just
Ah.
Would you eventually
general-
just have to ask, like, Citron, like, where is the workshop?
pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. Citron. Beatrice has invited me to her workshop. I need to know where that is. It is important business.
All right, let me just clean off my hands now. I can show you that way.
Oh god, you're just wiping it on your clothes? Ugh. I shouldn't
No,
be surprised.
I like my clothes Well, I mean, it's armor. It can wash off easily. I was just doing a motion to show you,
I
hey,
see.
I'm cleaning off
I
my
see.
do you
Thank the
see?
gods.
Because I was very clearly not wiping out myself, and you very clearly did not see.
I looked away because I was too afraid. Anyways, just clean your hands. I'll be outside.
Man. Yeah. Yeah, Sidra, where is the portable hole these days?
It's in the underwater bastion. The underwater cave.
I don't want to take Saris to the underwater cave.
The
I'm
question
going
is,
to.
could he even enter it?
Well, he could technically he can enter it. He just has to do a wisdom or charisma save, one of the two. He could still enter. He would just have disadvantage on things, and then he can't look into it through divination.
I mean, I could also meet you somewhere if it's a problem for him to get in here.
Mhm. Yeah, I was going to cast message to Beatrice to ask a ring. Beatrice, it's Citron.
Hello, darling.
Saris wanted to meet with you. Said you had little play date. I feel so bad that I used those words. I'm so sorry.
No, that's all
Yeah.
right. No, that's perfectly fine. And he really can't wait.
He wants, he's one of those people who's like, oh, I want a thing. I want it now.
All right.
Very
well,
pushy.
all right. I'll make a moment. I'll come over momentarily.
All right.
Incredible.
Bless.
You get a D4 on all your ability checks for the next minute. So you meet up with Saris, and Saris is. What would he be doing? He would have a chessboard set ready
Sure.
for another match.
I take a solid like an hour and 10 hour and 9 minutes, just frustratingly long enough
Just
that
to
he
make
doesn't,
sure, yeah.
Yeah, just to really make him wait.
Better yet, he has a chessboard ready to go. He has his wine glass in his hand, and he's looking out the window trying to see if you're coming when you enter into his room. And well, it is good to see that you made it. Wine.
Oh, of course.
Of course. He pours you a glass, and would you fancy a game?
I guess I've been working all day. Do you mind if it's just a simple game of friends?
Of course. What else are we but friends?
That's yet to be determined.
Well, I would hope that we can determine it today. Because what I'm understanding is you are going into the lion's den soon. At least that's what I heard from Citron's thoughts.
Well, it's not necessarily untrue. Is it my move first or yours?
You please.
Okay. And I am going to just play a very casual game.
Sure.
Like, I'm still going to play well.
Yeah.
But I play it very, like, sort of relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
We are very much in the midst of... I look an absolute fuss today. And she's perfectly put together.
Of course.
Of course. I've just been working all nonstop. The amount of preparations we have going on. We're perfectly capable of getting everything done we need to, but you do always wonder if there's something more that can't be done. And I know that we're doing as much as we can, but I'm not sure if there is really much more we could do to be better prepared. But when you're going into the lion's den, at the end of the day, you're going to be meat.
Well, I can offer aid for the army that's attacking. I can offer aid to your group to have a powerful devil at your side. Because, let's be real, we know who we are. Devils, of course. And he'll change his shape into what you find is a Rakshasa, a tiger person. I can give you aid, or I can give you information. Something that, sure, you may survive without it, but the more information you have going into this, I feel is an incredible boon.
How much do I know? How much do I know about Rakshasa?
Go ahead and do, I would say, like a history check.
$24.
You know they're powerful devils. They're very good with like trickery and type of kind of like changing expectations. They are very focused on what words they use, and they always seem to try to get on top after some sort of contracts. That is something that you know.
Of course, yeah. I know you're very powerful. By the way, I love your coat. It's very lustrous. You look lovely.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I would love to be accepting of your help, but as we both know, there's a cost to that. And I find making deals, at least among intelligent tricksters, is best to be as upfront with information as possible. The best liars always tell the truth. So why don't you at least tell me, for these levels of what I see what you might gain from Strahd being unseated, but I assume you would want something more for participating in that unseating. What would you lack? What could I possibly give you?
Well, one of the greatest things about Barovia is that there is no short supply on despair and desperation. And both of those put together creates the perfect storm for myself to give them their wildest dreams. However, as we all know, our Dark Lord stalks the night, and I just don't see very much success in having people travel this way, or even going into the town itself. They're too scared. Bringing them here, I feel, is a great way to make them feel comfortable. After, of course, heavy renovations. Treating them to a feast, telling them that they're safe, and then finally giving them what they want. Of course, in return for their souls, as you already know. What I'm after with you is different. I guess it depends on what you would like. If you would like this information, well, this information is very helpful. And I would like you to work for me eternally. You would bring me souls that are begging for aid, and I would help them. And you will have your endless supply of decadent wine.
Not a terrible offer. Not necessarily the first time I've had that exact offer either.
I imagine.
I will say, And I sort of move a couple pieces, measuring out the thoughts. One thing you learn about making traps, especially for, say, you're a hunter, you bait a trap with a promise, something better, cheese on a lovely, whatever, a hunk of hot, rare meat in a bear trap. Fantastic. Would you rather catch a healthy bear or a sickly bear? Now, I think a healthy bear is going to fetch you better meat for yourself, better pelt, all of these things. So what I'm saying is, wouldn't a hunter benefit from a healthy forest of game? The idea of everyone around you being so downtrodden, you offer them a brief moment of happiness, sure, but these souls are already downtrodden. Wouldn't you get more benefit from a healthy stock of victims? People who are so full of joy that you can tempt them into something a little bit sweeter. And isn't that, I don't know the devil's work, but isn't that a little bit of a sweeter reward for you, being able to really take down the people who got a little bit too close to the sun? People who thought they deserved just a little bit more than they actually deserved.
Oh, but the desperation is so sweet here. A soul is a soul in the end. Sure, one might be a little healthier than the other, but in the end, I get what I need. Sustenance.
You surprise me. Wine is not wine, regardless of what vineyard it comes from.
Of course. But this sort of wine is my favorite. Just feeling their hopes rising to a crescendo just before they realize that they have been trapped all along. Now, that's not to say that I won't broaden my horizons. Once Barovia is open, sure. The more the better. What do you have in mind?
Well, I guess I just think that the idea of keeping Barovia pressed in that way fully into the depths of despair, as you say, I think won't yield as good results as an alternative where you are able to find more succulent fruits that have been well watered and well, all of these things, gorging themselves on the best that life can offer and then getting greedy for a little bit more, desperate for slightly more. I think that's just, I love karma, though I've been dodging it for many years myself. That's really, I'm just sort of trying to understand the picture of the vision you have for this kingdom after the fall of, after all of Strahd's influence is gone.
Well, I guess that depends on what each of you are planning to do. It is no surprise to anyone to know that you are the most powerful people in these lands outside of Strahd himself. So, I would need some assurances before I would decide that this is a good place for me to keep camp. I know that what you're saying is moving around, but Barovia will be open to the world after this. And who's to know if they don't close in the mists again?
That's very true. I guess I'm just cautioning against you taking up that same route. These dreadlords like to reinstate themselves as soon as one falls, and I don't think that's much value to you.
Sure. But it is an endless cycle of desperation. The types that you talk of, they take time. They take effort. Sure, you're talking of these healthy bears. But these are healthy enough and in vast quantities.
I mean, it's worth considering. It's an interesting vision for yourself. Certainly a comfortable place to set up. I'm not much for servitude, unfortunately. Though I am a fan of being a person of status in the style of eternity. I wouldn't be opposed to that. And I do enjoy your company, so it's not... I know how these things often boil out, and I think the idea in me subjugated servitude to you would squander some of my ability.
Fair enough. A partnership, then.
I could certainly be more interested in that.
Perhaps we can strike terms for an amount of souls that would need to be provided.
Possibly. I would also wonder, can I do an insight check? Sorry.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
What are you trying to see?
I'm just really this is a hard one. This is an emotional meta game
Okay.
for Beatrice and what her type is. Because my instinct is that she would really like this guy, but I'm also like, would she be smart enough to be like, I don't know, Rakshasa, like, they're devils, but there's like a world in, like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there is a route, I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to get a read on, like, this is going to sound bizarre, but I don't even know if she can, but like, is this the kind of person that she would like?
Like?
No, yeah, is this the kind of person she would like? I don't know how to put it. Like, is this a person
go ahead and do an
she
insight check.
thinks she could trust to make like a partnership with?
Sure.
And would want to in the long term? Like, would she enjoy being in a partner? Probably not. An 18.
One of the things that you recognize very clearly about this person is that he does hold you in high regard. He recognizes that you are extremely intelligent and that the typical, fine print type of tricks aren't going to work on you. It seems like he is aiming to use your talents in the best ability that he can, while also making sure that he has what he needs as well, which is the desperate souls that he can take. After a little bit of talking, you can tell that he's not trying to put a collar on you as much as he's just saying, if this partnership were to disperse in any way, I still need you to help me. So he's kind of setting up like terms in a contract just in case, but he thinks that this could be a good partnership. As far as Beatrice, you spent your life with one of them. This definitely seems like a similar type of vibe.
Yeah. Didn't end well the first time.
Didn't end well.
Didn't end well the first time. I think the best way for us to proceed is to present terms with a reasonable consideration period. There's no reason to make a decision now. After all, we're just playing a game as friends.
Of course. Well, then let us continue this game, and hopefully we can find terms.
continue playing.
So,
So my thought is like maybe like the next day Beatrice writes up terms that she would be comfortable with, sees what terms he presents, and then takes maybe the rest of the time to think it over.
Okay, sure. And I will say that I'm not going to make you do that right now. We can do this offline. But we can definitely retcon the information that he has in exchange for this is something that can happen after the fact. So I can let you know if we come to an agreement, I can let you know that information and it can come in later when you're at the castle.
Okay.
Cool.
Got it.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Beatrice just kind of like casually spends the rest of the evening with Saris, like in her downtime. Just hanging out, playing chess.
Sure. Okay, so with that done, let's move over to, I guess, Lumari, Katya, Sorsha. Do you all want to do anything during this time? Or just train and ready yourselves? Sorsha?
Yeah, nothing particular. Go ahead.
I know that I want to check in with Katya on how she's feeling, and also convene with the Fanes.
Of course.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know which order sounds good.
Let's do the Katya one.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go find Katya.
Not very hard to do because you're in a underwater cave that there's only one place to be.
There's still water in my eyes from getting under there.
True.
Yeah. Katya,
Hello, Sorsha.
how are you feeling about the upcoming events?
I'm honestly a little antsy. It's hard for me to wait around, and I'm just anxious to get it over with. Honestly, I've been working for this for so long, and now there's nothing to do but wait.
The calm before the storm, right?
Exactly. I've been trying to plan out every scenario, prepare for everything that could come up, every surprise he could throw at us, every advantage we could gain, and I know I'll never be fully ready. I know there'll be something I haven't thought of, something we haven't planned.
I think that the only thing that we can do, especially when it comes to Strahd, is to expect the unexpected. So
You're right.
don't stress yourself out too much. Have you been doing your daily affirmations?
Yes, I have.
Good.
I never stopped.
Good. Do those feel good to you? Do those give you the confidence to fight your father?
They really do. They've been more helpful than you know. Fighting my father was never really the issue, although learning about that was difficult, but it never gave me pause. I knew I was going to kill him. But they do help. They do help, and I will continue saying them even long after this is over.
Good. I just wanted to check on you because we cannot do this without you.
It's very kind of you to say. We
No,
need...
I'm serious. I've seen you climb up walls. We need you. We need you because you're part of this team. And you're my dearest friend. Don't tell the others. And...
I won't, but you are my dearest friend as well, and I think they probably already know that. I don't keep it much of a secret.
That is true.
And we need you too. We need everyone on this team. All of us together have strength that the others don't, and bring each other higher than we could reach on our own. I'm truly grateful that we could bring all of these people together. And grateful for the ones we don't have anymore. It's been a long journey.
It has been a long journey.
How are you holding up? How was your... She was a Moonshade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just real quick. Okay, how was everything at Moonshade and with your mother?
It was good. It was good to get everyone there. I don't know if you heard, but Elvir's father was killed by Strahd. And
I'm really sorry about that. I'm sorry to hear that.
the family is struggling, but they are strong together and they are ready to go. So
We will need them too. Every little bit will help.
it will. Well, I need to go talk to the Thanes. Do you need anything? I could
Honestly, if
I think somewhere I have some like old Arxis pancakes. I think that they're kind of old, but you know, if you suck on them a little bit, then they might be a little easier to chew.
I thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. I think we have some other food around here somewhere. Citron brings us some. I think we're okay.
Okay.
Honestly, if you need any help, please let me know. I would love anything to keep myself busy. I'm just sort of wasting away here. So if you or anyone else needs something done, I'm available.
Actually, I do, and I'm just gonna pull out like my rope that's been in my knapsack like since forever, and it's just one big ball mess. Can you untangle this because I haven't been able to? If you need something to do.
Oh, easy. Yes, hold on. Give me 2 seconds. And she grabs it and like immediately realizes it's way more complicated than she thought it was gonna be.
Okay.
Just like starts trying to. She's like, no, I can. Okay, if I just pull.
Okay. Well, you
Yep,
have fun
I
with
got
that.
this.
I'm gonna
I got
I'm
this.
gonna
Okay.
walk away sucking on an Arxis pancake.
I'm gonna
Incredible.
untangle the shit out of this rope, you guys.
Okay, so you find a very nice, quiet spot in this underwater cave to connect with the Fanes. What does Sorsha say?
I don't know if there's like any particular incantation that she says in order to talk with them. We never really discussed that.
No, just in general, you know, like how
do I start
are you
it?
just kind of like meditating to them and opening yourselves up to anything kind of thing? What are you doing?
So the way that I envisioned it is that she is just kind of meditating and putting her feelings out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
okay.
Just like the opening herself up to like the guidance and the warmth and wisdom of the Fanes. And then just kind of hoping that kind of rushes over her, and I don't know, maybe she has an epiphany.
Sure.
Yeah.
When you open yourself to this meditative state, you begin to see flashes of your past, though not the regrets that you had during the shrine, but more the happy memories. The ones that you had with your brother before he had been killed. The ones with your mother where she taught you how to cast druidcraft and predict the weather and grow a small sprout out of the ground, you see all of these flashes of your happier self, the things that have made you who you are. And then that changes to everything that has happened in these short span of weeks. You became the champion of the Fanes. You have reconsecrated all of the shrines. And then you start to see a future. Barovia. The sun shining. Flowers of all sorts of colors. Different sorts of fauna and flora, all growing here as the environment changes drastically. And as you look around, there is no mist, only mountainscapes and a beautiful valley. This is the Fanes speaking to you. And when you awaken from this meditative state, you find this giant seed in your lap. This is a seed of the Elder Tree. And not only that, it has magical properties with it. So I will share a sweet, sweet handout with y'all. One sec. There we are.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So, for everybody at home, the seed of the Elder Tree, when a creature cracks open this 1-foot diameter seed and drinks the water within it, they fall unconscious for 1 minute, then awaken with the same effects as a long rest. Alternatively, this water can be shared among 6 creatures. Each of them fall unconscious for 1 minute, then awaken with the same effect of a short rest. Or you can plant a new Elder Tree. You know, your choice.
I'm gonna put that away after I smell it. Just gonna give it a little sniff.
Nice, yeah. It
Yeah.
There's this nice little like oily residue over it, like this coat. It smells like sesame seeds. You know that like really like nut smell? Yeah. That's what this is. It's just like overwhelming. So, at the end of that, Lumari, is there anything that you are doing to prepare?
So, just to confirm, there's not enough time to go shopping at the Amber Temple.
Unfortunately, if you decide to go for the Amber Temple, it would be about a week's journey. And then, this is all the while everyone is prepping, so you would most likely be going alone.
Still haven't heard a problem yet, just...
Okay.
I mean, I could go with.
All right. If y'all want to go to the Amber Temple, we can go to the Amber Temple.
No, Lumari will not be that person.
Okay. I mean,
Maybe.
I have
on
it.
a solo
I have
mission. I'm not gonna stop you.
I'm just saying, the two of you going to the Amber Temple is fucking dangerous.
A cleric and a warlock walk into a bar. I'm just saying. No,
You also have to remember that,
There's a pissed off barbarian there.
yeah, Blair
we
has...
were good.
Sure, no, you're good, but that doesn't mean that she hasn't pissed off every single person that's in there.
Sounds like her problem, not mine.
Yeah. She's getting like gnawed on by zombie Casimir or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got blown to hell by a lich and a pissed off fox spirit is what happened. If I'm gonna take a guess.
No, I think that Casimir got her, the zombie, taking on the barbarian.
the zombie.
You think Casimir is capable of taking on anyone in any capacity?
Exactly.
No.
He's Astorian, is what he is.
Lamari A focuses on training.
Okay.
I don't know. Lamar doesn't know enough about Barovia where there would be places to get more magical weapons to add to his armory. I think it's just pure training because there's nothing I can acquire from anyone, because Amber Temple was the only place on his bucket list and no one took him to do the dive safely. Yeah, no, Lamari just trains.
Okay. As
I would
the
train with
days
with a while I'm not untangling rope. I'm in for some combat.
incredible.
Kaya spends the literal whole time untangling rope.
I really wonder who would win, but that is not a tale for tonight. That is a tale for a one-off episode to see
It's a one-off there.
a PvP. Everybody fights each other and see who wins.
We're not going 100. We're not going for kills. We're not going 100%
Sure.
anyway.
Oh no, I know. I mean, Kaya did do pretty fucking well in that one fight.
Well, that was level 20 evil.
Sure.
Vampire Lord Kaya though.
Yeah.
A lot different.
As the days go by, Vaughn, I think you would be the first.
Okay. Fontaine.
A couple days into this week, these 3 weeks, you get a message at night from none other than the Strahd von Zarovich, your older brother.
Oh, yeah.
He messages you and says, I must admit, I don't know much about you, but somehow you have gained the respect of Beatrice. And for that, I'm inclined to respect you as well. He sends another message. Your presence would be welcomed at my wedding. But I must ask, why do you work against me? I understand the others. But what stakes do you have?
Do I get 50 words to respond since he cast it twice?
That's fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna count.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Firstly, thank you so kindly for the invite. I was hoping for one. I suppose I hold some grudge against you because my Baba Saga raised me to try to be like you, obviously not doing a very good job. But at the moment, it's the majority of it is because you're a huge fucking dick to Beatrice. And I'm going to kill you over it. I think that sums it up.
No further messages, Your Honor. However, there is
truest,
one
homie.
for another person.
That's so valid, by the way.
What?
Soon, don't worry. You'll get your message. But Beatrice,
everyone's getting messages.
since you were brought up in this last one, you also receive a message in your head. You were the one that came up with the plan with the heart, weren't you? Bait me out of the castle to strike. I've always
Please lie
admired.
and say it was Citron.
I've always admired and respected your wit and intellect. There really hasn't been, nor do I think there ever will be, anyone like you. Truly one of a kind. But, what is your end goal?
Strahd, I'm surprised you even had to ask. Of course it was mine. I could tell you. Hot and bothered enough by it, it must have been obvious. And as to what I'm going to get out of this, I'm going to win.
What are the conditions of your win? Is it that you will finally be able to leave Barovia? Because if that is the case, I will let you go. Right now. I will even take you to the mist myself, and I will allow you to leave my domain to return to Waterdeep. Even with your friend, the one that seems to want to murder me because of how badly I treated you. And you can definitely feel air quotes when he says how bad I've treated you. So, would that be it?
There was a time that offer might have tempted me. But as always, you do not actually know what I want. All it takes for me to win is for you to lose. In every romantic entanglement that falls apart, there is a winner and there is a loser. And I will not be the loser again. You are going to lose, and I will do whatever it takes and lay anything on the line to make sure that happens. Are we clear?
There are no further messages.
She's toxic, but she's strong.
Yeah, she is. Lumari. You get a message from Strahd. Everybody gets a message from Strahd.
I've been waiting weeks for this.
Oh my god.
I know every person that enters my domain. And yet, I do not know you, nor do I know where you came from. Who are you? How did you enter Barovia without me knowing?
There's a moment as this message comes through that Lumari is in a, like, outwardly gets giddy. Like, it's like, gets all postured up, gets even cross-legged. I do this for some reason. Azilin thinks you fucked up too much and make him look bad.
Azalin. Right. I remember him. He taught me about the arcane arts. We worked together to attempt to escape fate. So, he sent you to kill me then.
No, no, not to kill you. To make you my little pet.
Well, I know better than to think that you will not be coming with everyone else. I must know if I extend an invitation that you will not break the rules set forth.
Mari's kind of dumb sometimes. Just goes, what rules? I was not told about rules.
You will keep decorum at my wedding. What happens after? Well, we will see who makes the other their pet.
That's why I'm certified to officiate the wedding if you need.
I just need an answer.
Of course, I love a good party. I follow rules, and then I murder you.
Many have tried. Many better than you.
Oh,
I would love to see this. I would love to fight. I would love to see the life leaving your eyes and then re-entering them as my pet. So please, come. I'll be waiting.
oh, you know just the right thing to make me get chills. I will make love to your dead corpse.
You get one more message. Yikes. No, no further messages. Katya.
Mm-hmm.
You hear Strahd's voice as well over these next 3 weeks. As he says, I have watched since you have entered my lands. You have survived when no one else did. Severed my connection to the land when no one else has. Defied my law when no one else would dare. I know your relationship with your mother is strained, but she will soon leave Barovia once the wedding is over. After the wedding, I hope to spend my days with Tatiana without worry of my people. I hope you may consider taking my place as the Countess of Barovia.
What happens after the wedding is yet to be seen. Whether or not I take your place, I will undo all that you have created here and take away everything that makes you who you are. as you have done to me and all who live here.
Sleep well, my child. And that is it.
Prepare to die, Father.
Love it. Love it.
My
All
name
right.
is Indigo Mentroya.
That's what I was going to say. I was
Become
going to
my
say the
father.
same thing.
Prepare to die. You are my father. Prepare to die. All right.
On a side note, after Strahd messages Lumari at all, Lumari will go around and be like, to anyone, be like, did Strahd talk to you too? Just
Oh, I haven't got mine yet. Is he
Yes.
talking to
Okay.
all of us?
okay.
Op block
Talk
his
to you
number.
guys.
And like Lumari just goes, if you find a way to do it back, let me know. I need to keep talking to him.
I just hope that if Strahd tries to talk to Sorsha, all he hears is elevator music.
I like to think it happens while Lumari and I are sparring. I'm like, hold on a second.
what?
I think I'm getting.
If that's true, you tell him. You tell him.
Is there anything you want me to say? Lumari says, what was it?
I
Son of a
said
bitch.
I'm not.
Citron.
I'm so sorry. I cannot even telepathically. I cannot say that.
I
I'm
say
so
hi.
sorry.
Tell him I say hi.
One says hi again.
Tell him I look very nice today. But like,
Just
do it
on the
kind of
other-
casual.
On the other
Call me
side,
back.
Strahd is
Call
just
me
like,
back.
this was a mistake.
Oh, Beatrice, you look so nice
Is
today.
is
Wow.
Strahd gonna message Citron?
Is
Because
that
if
a new
not, I'm gonna
hat?
say what Citron would say.
But sincerely,
Citron
Lumari-
does not get a message.
Okay. Then Citron would have just said, "Hey, buddy, I'm sorry. That was really not a good time. Could you try again later?"
Lumari is actually probing to see something, to see if he can he's going to ask everyone, and it's like, if Strahd, tell him to call me one more time. Just in case.
I think I've already got my call, so I don't think.
Lumari, I think I still have a couple words left. Lumari wants to talk.
Okay.
Like, on that last message, I think I have a couple more. It's like,
Prepare to die, father. And Lumari wants to talk.
And also Lumari
P.S.
wants to talk. And Beatrice, and Lumari wants to talk. Oh, Beatrice, you look so nice today. Is that the new? Like, as if I just noticed her while I'm making
what
this
is she wearing?
conversation.
All right.
Change
Lumari,
up the
you
palette.
get another message. My daughter told me that you wanted to speak. So speak.
I do have to confirm it is telepathic.
Correct.
Lumari talked earlier because that's who Lumari is, but it is telepathic.
Yeah.
By the way, I forgot the other part I was supposed to tell you. Azalin thinks it's already for us to leave again, if you follow instructions.
Does he take the bait? Or does he think you're full of shit?
And Lumari is actually sincere.
Right. Go ahead and do persuasion check.
The dice says it's a
Probably
12. I got a plus 10, but I rolled a 2, so...
I rolled a natural 13.
You know, I have a free reroll. Do I want to use it here? I do.
Okay.
I do. I just have to not roll a 2 or a 1.
It was a natural 13.
Oh.
So there are bonuses on top of that.
I just got to roll a 20. Like, that's
easy.
easy.
Yeah, easy
Easy.
peasy. Just roll that
Dang.
nat 20. You got it.
You know,
26?
Yeah, 26 is close.
26 on insight. Yeah, I think that passes. Sure. All right. So you get a follow-up message. I think you are full of shit. But just in case you aren't. What do you mean?
I do think that talking like this a bit difficult. But if willing, I'd like to talk before wedding. No weapons. Just talk.
That is gonna have to be another persuasion check.
I already used my reroll. Why? No.
Just roll it good the first time.
Oh, I forgot about that.
This is going to be a very high DC.
Is there anything I can give myself guidance?
Might as well.
Right? And just be like, dang, if only I could see him. Otherwise, this would be great, but I can't see him. I have no way to put anything else on myself. Nope. I have to just be persuasive. Be persuasive.
Do you want me to do emboldening bond on you?
I mean, I would
so you
take
get the D4.
I would always take that.
But that, unfortunately, was a 16.
And if it does help, I did say I
Even-
would rather talk in person, but
Right. No. I think this is good enough. We have enough time before the wedding. Say what you need to say.
I don't know, having to do this 25 words every second. It's going to run up my magic bill, but okay. Do you know the people? As I think I reach a point and stop because Lumari is not concise in speech, but kind of conveys like, the ground conjunction, the upheaval, you merge all the domains into one. Then they become something different. They can't be a prison if all things are connected. Right now, separate. Together, solution. Eh?
And Aslan told you this.
Thought is a strong word. He implanted his what you tried before, at least his part of it. I'm not too keen on exactly of how it works fully, but that's why I jumped domains, I killed Dreadlords, and during the time that they are trying to recontrocate themselves, I don't know, come back, I embed the piece. So, when it comes time, all domains collapse onto one another. What happens to Darkon happens everywhere. Boom. Dark powers can't hold you, can't hold anyone. And most importantly, I can leave. So, we talk in person, or do I have to keep doing this message thing?
You have given me something to think about.
Oh my god, everybody keeps thinking. Everything takes forever. By the way, sinking is how sinking is how you got into this and became a Dark Lord and got stuck here because you keep overthinking.
There's no message further. At least not today.
As Lumari just keeps talking too.
Yes.
Being like, yes. So like, listen, you got to understand this and that. No idea that it's been severed enough.
Of course, yeah. Interesting. Okay. Is there anything else you would like to do before we move on? Actually, there is one more thing. Beatrice, you receive one final message. However, it is not from Strahd. It is from a voice that you have only heard like maybe once or twice. It is the abbot.
Oh.
Who says, due to your own actions, the carriage is no longer available. Please find your own transportation and arrive in the evening. Good night.
Thank you.
Okay.
God, the abbot sounded like that.
We're fine on transportation, right? We're teleporting in with stuff.
Yeah, you can teleport over.
So we'll be okay. That makes sense that we didn't, he got rid of the group limo to the wedding.
Yeah. The idea behind it is that he's no longer connected to the land, so he can't do that timey-wimey or the, like, you know, stretching across the land anymore because he's not connected to it anymore.
Worth.
Yeah, you know. The limo would be nice, but we don't need
It
a...
would be nice.
Yeah.
We can get our own limo.
Yeah.
I'm ready to do some final magic item stuff. I've got my full list together of stuff I can make.
Incredible. Let's hear it.
So first of all, Johnny, I need to make some rolls to see if I end on the high side. So hello everyone, welcome to Magic Item Artificer Corner.
Here we go.
As an artificer,
the great magic item bake-off.
Great magic item bake-off. As I'm sure a lot of you know, I'm just saying it so it all makes sense. As an artificer, you get to have and quarter the time, like the time it takes to make certain things. But because some things have an odd making time, we're now going to roll to see if it takes me the upper end of the, like half of 5 days. Is that 3 days or 2 days?
So
we're
it would
gonna
be
roll
2 or
and
3,
see.
yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna roll to see how that.
Do you have your paperwork?
I have.
Can you show your work?
I have so many.
Zach, you're gonna be so mad.
Don't tell
There's
Zach.
so much
I did
math.
a lot of
No,
math.
no, I can't look. I can't look at all this math.
No!
I'm sorry. Also,
I feel a little
it's
less
gone.
gay having seen
Is the
all that
math in the room with us right now?
you
There's
don't
the math in the room with us right now.
Nobody worry about it. Johnny, I'm also going to send you something because I had a question about whether or not something requires components from people. So I'm going to send it to you and just tell me if you think this means it would require, for instance, for the spell Revivify, would this magic item require you to have a diamond or is it free? I have a theory based on how it's written. I'd love to know your opinion. And then I will reveal what that's for. And then I just have to do those rolls to see where I end up on magic items because that will determine how many magic items I can make.
And Lumari help.
Yeah, can we help these rolls in any way, shape, and
I
form?
would love to help. Kai is dying to help anybody.
Sure. So
You
if
can board on that
y'all are
rock,
helping,
yeah.
if y'all are, you can't really do emboldening bond over a really long span of time because it's only 10 minutes.
This is like days of work that these.
This is
I
like
cast guidance every
hours upon
minute.
hours.
Every single minute, I'm recasting guidance.
You're also training. So
First off,
I think we're
Lumari
gonna have
doesn't
to
put all
cool it.
focus in one thing anyway.
Listen. Beatrice is gonna kick ass at these rolls anyways. I almost guarantee that every single one of them is gonna be on the lower end of everything. So,
I do imagine that when Vaughn is not with their mother, they are helping Beatrice.
I'm reading that as you don't need material components.
I see that, but it's saying when you cast it from it, you require no material components.
So do you need the material components when it's
To
cast
store it.
into the person?
Great Barovian Bake Off.
You can once
I'm really
it's
hoping you
there,
earn a
you
handshake.
can cast the spell. That's interesting.
Let me do a. Yeah, what do you think?
If you find something different, that's fine. But I would say that when you are imbuing this with the magic, you would require the material components first, and then you can cast it without it. So I think you still need the material components, but not when you're casting it through this. But if you find something that says, like, no, that's not true, then cool. It's just, it doesn't say you cast it to put it in there, which is like that weird gray area that I'm trying to figure out. But I feel like the rules as intended would be that you would cast it into it, and then you don't need a material component, similar to Glyph of Warding, which actually, no, hold on.
There is a general rule. Hold on. I found something. I just have to confirm. There is a rule on the general. Where to go? Some magic items allow the user to cast a spell from the item, often expending charges. Typically things that, if it's item based, I don't know the specific thing, but usually they're cast at the lowest level spell unless specified. It doesn't use spell slots and requires no components unless the item's description says otherwise. So the general rule is no components unless it says otherwise.
But this isn't a charges type of thing, like an innate spellcasting thing. This is a thing that you create. One sec. Let me see what.
Yeah.
I'm gonna base it off of what Glyph of Warding does, because that's a very similar spell.
Yeah, I don't even know the context of what it was, so that was my reference.
I have Glyph of Warding as a spell, so let me look. I'm sure this is fun for everyone reading.
This is my favorite thing.
Hey, listen, this is better than the math part of it. This is just the reading the rules part.
Mm-hmm.
Zach, you didn't see like the full detail. Like, we saw algebra.
Oh no!
Not to out Ellen, but there was the algebra was happening.
Casting it as
that's why I was off
of the glyph.
Casting it as part of the glyph.
I just imagine that this is a very similar magic as what you were bringing, and I would just base it off of this. Since it doesn't say it, I understand what you're saying with the general rule, but I think as intended, this should be this. Yeah. It should require the material components. Otherwise, you would just create that every single time with, Revivify, which I'm assuming is what you were trying to do. Or maybe something else, I don't know.
I found the specific rule. I don't know what we're specifically talking about, but
I can also give away the reveal if people want to know.
Sure, if you want to.
So who's ever been helping me will see that in addition to like some very intricately large magic items, Beatrice has a series of like melted down, very fine, thin, long needles that are inscribed with very fine scripting, as she has been working on spell rot tattoos. Spell rot tattoos can contain up to 3rd level spells and do not require material components to cast, but it's unclear if you need to have the components while creating the item. Like, does a Revivify spell rot tattoo need to have a 300 gold diamond infused into it? Or can you just cast it? This is the question.
Because in my eyes, you can't just go around. I feel like that's not what the tattoo was intended to do. I feel like the tattoo was intended to have like the spell cast into the tattoo, or at least the needle.
I mean,
I don't know. That's a weird one.
Yeah, I
don't know if anybody else can find it.
Yeah, I completely defer to you on this, Johnny. Yeah, I completely defer to the DM on this unless somebody can find like a hard rule either way.
I will say that is, in my head, that is the rules intended, is that you need to at least use the material components to cast it first and imbue this needle to then put that tattoo on. If you find something during the next, however long until our next session, or until you need to use it, I guess, because whatever, then let me know and we can reverse that.
Sure. While people are searching, do you want to do those rolls to see how long it takes me to make some stuff? And then do I have assistance from anyone on D4s or advantages or anything?
Doesn't be training.
I'll be helping as much as I can.
Yeah.
If that counts as...
I don't know what Citron can really do to help, or if Beatrice would even want him.
You can provide a calming presence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll cast calm emotions every so often. Nice.
Incredible.
Every once in a while, Beatrice gets like a little bit like tense, and then I'm like, oh, okay. No, it's all right. No, it's fine. Just really zens her back out. I think that would be very helpful.
Yeah.
So are these Arcana rolls, Johnny? And then I have 4 uncommon items I would like to make. There's a 5th that I will try and make if I have time, and then anything else is going to go to uncommon or to the spell rot tattoos.
Sure.
So
cool.
We'll just kind of see how many I end up with. So what am I rolling?
I will say that 20 is the DC for all of these. You just have to hit a 20.
And am I rolling with advantage, or what am I?
Yeah, you'll
for
roll
the
with
help I'm getting?
advantage. Mhm.
Okay. On Arcana?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for each of these, it will take the work time down on the item from 3 days to 2 days, which is huge when some of these take like 2 days to make. Okay. So rolling for the first item. 28.
Sweet. Yep.
2 days. Second item.
You have a
44.
15.
Yeah.
Fucking Arcana. That
Yes,
is
I do.
incredible.
Okay. Once I roll these, I'm going to stop and do a little bit more math.
That's a 34
Sure.
for everyone playing at home.
A
32.
32?
Oh, see, if you had disadvantage, it would have been a 17.
If I had the option. Sure. A natural 20 to
20.
42.
I will give you one last day on that one.
Oh,
Okay.
a day.
The Rod of the Pact Keeper takes 1 day to make.
Nice.
I don't know how I feel about that. I feel insulted, actually.
Okay.
Easy. Throws it
given
at
the fact
you.
that- Easy. Take
Keep
it.
that in my shop. You done now.
Yeah, she's like in a flurry of people keep being like, could you make me this? She's like,
Right,
what,
right.
What do you want? You want a
I just
Rod of
imagined
Pact? Oh,
Lubari.
okay, you want this? I like tie like a bow on a stick and I throw it at you.
I just imagine Lubari like hanging out on the side of the portable hole, just like waiting for their item to be done, and you're like, here.
Very
Get on my fucking
Cheshire
face.
Cat mode. Just
Yes. Oh,
I think
incredible.
Citron is still there casting calm emotions on everyone who wants an item
Sure.
to like. He's sitting there writing
have a business
volume
model here.
8 of erotic gnome poetry. Then every so often he sees Friend just commotions. Let's chill.
Another
Let's
thing
give
to
Beatrice
support.
there's space.
Another thing to support what I was saying earlier is in Xanathar, as it talks about spell scrolls and inscribing
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
And it also says you must make an Arcana skill check and provide any material components required for casting of that spell. But then you don't need your material components when you make that spell scroll. So, therefore, I would refer to that. Defer to that.
So because we've got several weeks, would we have time to go out and maybe find some more jewels?
I own a lot of property.
Go back to Falaki. Maybe there are some in Argenvoshtel. I mean, like if I was a cleric here and everything, like I'm sure they would have had a few for us to use in the battle, or for me specifically to use. And I can't think of a reason I would have had to use it.
Argenvost has been picked pretty much clean from people while you were still dead as revenants, or rather you were out and about and all the other revenants were not fucking doing anything too. So as far as like Argenvost, there's really not much there.
Like maybe a little secret stash I've kept.
I can tell you where some jewels are at.
Oh, the Amber Temple?
Oh,
Are they there?
Didn't we get enough at Lady Walker's house? That was like the whole point. We raided that place.
Well, that
You
was
mean
for my
Lamari's
jewel
house.
encrusted
I would
bowl.
say
Right. Yeah.
go ahead. You can do whoever wants to lead that can do a persuasion check, and then you would have to tell me how much you are willing to pay. Like how much are you trying to buy for gems?
buy.
Purchase.
Hmm.
I'm assuming that you're trying to purchase,
Steal.
unless you're trying
who?
to steal from merchants and folks that are in Valakai, maybe
Listen.
even Vistani that are there.
It's not theft if they're not around to scream
Fetch.
thief.
Okay.
I also
there's
spare the
a little
dying,
bit
so we don't have to worry about
unpack
that.
there.
No, I spare the dying, so it's okay.
Okay, sure. Right. You don't kill them, but,
Just mostly.
almost.
It's to stop Strahd. I feel like two wrongs make a
You
Dark
you
Lord.
all I can't say. How much are you trying to get? How much do you need?
I think we just need
That's my
one
question.
diamond is what we're trying to get here.
Diamond
Sounds like
is
we're
gonna
trying
be
to
a big
tattoo
one.
a Revivify onto someone.
You all have 2 uses of it, and how much extra? Because it's 300, so you have 800, I think, in total.
Yes. We need one
Yeah,
more
I'll give you
100 of...
I'll give you an extra 100. That's fine. That works. in a span of 3 weeks, you can find another 100's worth of a diamond in order to use that in a spell rot tattoo if you'd like, and you still have 2 uses.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
So I now have.
By the way, there would be no more diamonds left in Amber Temple. Those were taken up.
We took
When
all of them.
they first
That's
went
true,
in,
we did.
they took the
First
diamonds. So,
God dang it, Blair.
No.
Terran-
Oh, that was
yeah,
us.
it was Blair.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Blair did all
Blair
of
did it.
You guys went to Ember Temple without me?
I still got rolls I can do.
Do it.
Okay. This is for another uncommon item. Didn't want to roll it. It got mad at me.
You've rolled Arcana too many times. Roll 20 is like, no, you surely can't mean a 29.
Okay, you surely cannot. Okay. Sorry, this is so many rolls.
It's good.
Okay.
It's fine. You're basically creating the items that you will be using in the final battle. So I am
Yes.
here for it.
Okay. At this point, everyone. So at this point, I now have. You know what? I'm gonna stick with that. I'm hedging my bets. Okay, I'm gonna do 6 more rolls for tattoos. Give me a second, and then I might do more. It just depends on. I keep rolling low enough that I am not using it full time, so I have
Because
extra
there
days.
is one more item I would ask for if we get to that point.
What are you looking for?
Is it boots? No, cloak of the elven.
What's the?
Cloak of Elven.
It's uncommon.
Okay.
Like cloak and then boots in that order. If there's also extra, the more invisible I can be without burning magic, the better.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But those at the very bottom.
Okay. 5. I'm just trying to keep track of how much money I've spent. So each one of those cost 100 gold. So, and I've made 5 magic items, so 500 gold.
Mm-hmm.
You got like 110 platinum, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So I had 100. I have 100.
You have 110 items that you could make. You're good.
No. I got.
That's not how. Platinum's
Or
10
no.
gold.
Sorry.
I have-
11 items is what you can make. My bad.
I have
Still a lot.
1,280 gold to play with
Lot.
total, and I've spent 500 gold of it. Okay.
Incredible.
So,
Good.
pretty good so far. So, and that's
See, kids, sometimes math is good.
sometimes math is good. Stay in school.
You stay in school. Just don't
So
do it on
this
stream.
is 500, and then I've spent 9 days. So I'm currently at 11 days left, and whatever this is, 12 minus 500.
Artificers, man.
We're doing it. This is not right. 1280
Oh,
minus 500.
Sorsha, by the way, a thing for you to think about. I asked the plants. Well, I believe you were there for this conversation. I'm just reminding you in case you forgot about it. But we took the gems from the winery. I pull out the 2 Mordekov gemstones, and I don't know what kind of fun nonsense we can do with them, obviously to return them, but if we could use them in any way for the confrontation, get a big plant on our side or something.
What's up with the gems?
So these were the gems that were in the Mordekov family's winery. This was what was basically creating the grapes so that they could make wine. One of the gems was put into the Golthias tree
That's great.
shoot off that created that like fucked up winter splinter bullshit.
Great.
There's 2 of them that are currently here because the other one was making Babala Saga's moving hut, the tree trunk, move around as well. As you touch these, you are filled with the knowledge of what they do. Hey, Becca, I did it.
Yeah!
There are 2
Wowie!
of these. There are 2 of the awakening gems that you can use.
Left that for
I
a week,
don't
so
know
we have to-
how you would be able to do anything with them in terms of in the castle, but you can use them for the assault. which
Enlarge, reduce on a tree, put it in the hole, and then we teleport to the castle, and then we make the tree big, and then it walks out.
This sounds like a very strange nursery rhyme.
We could make like a Howl's Moving Castle.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
It's just something to ruminate over in this 3-week amount of time that we have.
I guess.
Thank you, Vaughn.
Yes.
I guess
we go to Castle Ravenloft ledge on that mountain, and we slowly do mold earth until we carve off all the land, and the castle just slides
falls.
downhill.
Yeah.
Sorcerer turns into a mole again, crawls underneath Castle Ravenloft, hollows it out until it falls.
I think, actually, isn't there like a giant mole? I think that there is a giant mole that I could probably turn into.
Oh, definitely. Specifically like a badger too. Like a giant badger, you could totally do it.
Oh yeah.
Just for everybody, the Awakening Gem is filled with transmutation magic, and when planted in the ground, it allows any plant life within a square mile to grow and germinate regardless of the weather conditions. And then, alternatively, a gem can be placed within a plant up to huge size. If left there for a week, the plant will be under the effect of the Awaken Plant spell until the gem is removed or the plant creature is destroyed. So, pretty on brand. About what you expected.
Just things we have that we can think about.
I mean, instead of teleporting, we could just make a thing like Babala Saga and
Arrive in style.
Yes, we could take this little underwater hut and we could put it on, make like a platform, and then that could just walk us over there.
A walking temple of the gods.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes. Then that way that it would give more time for anything that Beatrice needs to do, and we still have plenty of time.
Yeah?
Sounds pretty cool. Sounds like a good idea.
The only rule that I have is that I can put flowers everywhere, because I think
Of course.
if we're
The
going to
Mari shows up.
Like if you stop
Flowers?
calling it a hut or a little underwater cave and acknowledge that it is a temple to Bahamut.
I called it a temple of the gods, and I would say it would walk across the land.
And I just, no offense, I just don't do. Me and dragons don't get along. It's just it's a thing.
I don't care.
That one religious friend.
So how's Beatrice doing? Is she still making stuff?
I'm
Do we have
working
more
on
Arcana
it.
checks?
Yes,
Beatrice, sorry.
Be patient.
I've got a bunch of I've just got a bunch of very delicate needles that I'm like like I have the biggest little, like the best freaking like jeweler's glasses on. They're just like super inscribed.
Yeah.
And at one point I like, as I have in the cast chat, I sent out a let me know what artificer spell you would want infused in your tattoo. It can be anything up to level 3.
I've been staring at all of them.
Including cantrips. But just let me know and that will be infused in yours. I have time to upgrade a cloak.
Double check.
Or a
Cool.
shoes for Lumari.
We got the cloak.
Well, I have time to do it. So let me know what you'd prefer, boot or cloak.
The cloak is better because that helps. Let me make sure I do this right. The cloak is the
Vision.
hiding. Yeah, the boots help me stealth quietly, but it's the cloak that helps me hide.
Okay. Let me go ahead and roll for the cloak to see if it takes 2 days or 2
Just
days
do the
or
same
3
thing you
days.
did with the pact, the rod of the pack keeper. Just
Same thing.
natural 20 and throw it at me.
31,
It's
pretty
so
good.
good.
Question. Can you
Answer.
upcast into the spell rot tattoo?
Yeah.
Great question.
Okay.
I would say so.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm down
The
to...
level of the spell in the tattoo determines the spell's saving throw DC, attack bonus, and the tattoo's rarity. Yeah, I don't see why you couldn't upcast.
Oh,
Still
we are
using the spell
in.
slot.
Okay, you got your cloak, Lumari.
I can now hide.
Mm.
Is that worth it? It's what? On average, it would be 6. It would be 16.
Could I get
16 once? Is that worth it?
I just can't do anything with concentrate because that'll just ruin my life.
Same. I can't do anything with concentrate.
Haste. I feel like haste
true.
would be useful.
Yeah, haste is a good one.
I have haste in 3
Haste
different
is
ways.
useful.
The lethargy is the part that sucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, okay, since you have haste in 3 different ways, should we avoid using a spell rod tattoo for haste then?
Well, you can choose whatever you would like. It's what you would like access to.
Yeah,
to
if somebody else
cast.
wants
And
to
you wouldn't have to
haste me is
concentrate on it,
great.
no?
You don't have to concentrate. Well, no, I
you
think you
do.
do.
You do. That's the problem.
You do?
The
Okay.
user of the item must concentrate if the spell requires concentration.
It actually would be
Got
better
it.
if someone else casts haste on me because haste on myself and then getting hit,
You're going to
means
take hits.
I have to keep not losing my
I have-
concentration.
Yeah.
So much of my stuff is concentration, though, so I might not be the
Ooh,
best
you tell
person
him.
to...
Who you tell?
Who you tell?
Darkness. That's the whole thing.
Imprisoning me.
Yeah, all my
Yes, sir?
combinations are like concentrate.
I have my requests.
Okay.
Can I just get like a disguise self thingamajig if we have a spare item? It's not an urgent at all, but if you have time for another thing, I could use a disguise self thingamajig. And for my tattoo, I think I'd go with Intellect Fortress if I could do that.
Do I have that available as a-
Good for you.
It was on the list.
Yes.
As an artificer?
Yes.
Awesome.
On the list.
What level
not
is the
Third.
most?
Up to 3. Intellect Fortress is there.
Yeah.
You think I know that spell before 5 minutes ago? No.
Oh, I
did
do
not-
have it.
I did
do
not
have
pull
it.
that out of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
The good one. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much all I've been
Um,
looking for. Is some way to shield my brain.
How often are you trying to
I
use
have a wild
disguise
thought.
self?
Like once. I basically just don't want to take my armor off for the wedding.
I mean, I could also give you that as a tattoo. If you just want to do it once.
I guess so. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Are the tattoos are one and done, or are they reasonable?
One and done.
Okay. Well, then maybe yeah. Then do both tattoos. That's fine.
Okay. I want to pull some fuckery if possible.
Okay.
Love it. Bring it.
If I can get a
That's
tattoo.
why we're here.
If I'm getting a tattoo, my understanding is glyph of warding is an option. The fuckery I want to do is, can I get a tattoo of glyph of warding with a spell glyph, but put one of my spells in there instead?
Okay. Okay.
Come
I said
on.
Are you trying to get around that? Are you trying to get around that fucking concentration bullshit?
No, I still have to
'Cause I know-
concentrate on it. Do I?
No.
Yeah.
Glyph of warding, you do not have to concentrate on that
I
spell.
didn't even know that. I was pulling
Yeah,
too much extra.
that's what I
was pulling
did.
more fuckery than my plan.
That's what I did with Archibald in the very first time that I fought him. Was I put a bunch of fucking glyph of wardings everywhere, and I had him back up into it, say the command word, and then greater invisibility with no concentration.
Actually,
10
yeah.
rounds.
You know, I just want to pull some fuckery. You know, it's just some kind of
We look
minor
for-
fuckery.
So glyph of warding. How long does it take to cast? Because that would be the next thing to.
It's an hour.
So you
Oh.
need to have an hour. So if you're trying to do it in a pinch, it would not work.
Well, because when
Actually-
you store the glyph, then it has a trigger response. Is what I'm trying to work with. Basically, I'm trying to become a glyph of warding.
Oh fuck,
But-
that's so weird.
I said it was some
That's a fucking
fuckery.
weird one. That's a fucking weird thing. Oh man, I don't know if I
Because
like
you can
that.
only normally put glyph of warding on a surface or an object, but if it's a tattoo, then can we put the
Spell.
glyph?
No
in the
material
tattoo.
components. The tattoo glows faintly while you cast a spell and for the spell's duration. For the spell's duration. Once the spell ends, the tattoo vanishes from your skin.
If one of us takes cat nap, we can do a short rest in 10 minutes.
I have the tattoo of a cat, and then I just activate it, and then we all go asleep. Honk shoe, honk shoe. Could you imagine, like,
spell-
it's the middle of Strahd's ceremony, and we just all fall asleep?
we just take us.
We're so bored.
I think
But this
glyph
has
of
gotta
warding.
be-
That one's tough because you have to like inscribe this glyph into something, which is why it has an hour casting. But when you're doing, oh, this is such a fucking weird.
The fuckery I want to do is like to have an emergency pop off because it can be triggered, so I don't have to spend an action to do like darkness or something. It's a reaction, not even reaction. It just happens as like almost. It's a reduced contingency.
How is that different than just
right.
casting Glyph of Warding on yourself? With
You can't cast it on a person. You can only cast it on like a surface or like specific
Because
objects.
otherwise
only move
and you
10
can't
feet.
move. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
But if it's on me, then I can actually keep it as like
Activated. But I think that therein lies the rub, where you can't cast it on a person and the spell is on you, which means where are you gonna place the? Well, fuck, I don't know, because that's a fucking weird.
I said it was fuckery.
My gut says no, but I can be persuaded if we find some fuckery along with the spell rot tattoo thing. If we find some other fuckery that says otherwise, then sure. But I would. My gut says no. Oh, and you would need powdered diamond, which I don't know if any of you have after, unless you want to pull into the reserves of the 2 Revivifies, which I doubt.
I got nothing else. That was my big plan. I was thinking of just putting like a failsafe in there that if I basically it creates like a weird, if I go down, it's something can trigger, but
That's such a weird yeah, because like you have to make the glyph too, so if you're unconscious, then it doesn't work altogether, which I guess then the spell is just wasted. I don't know. I'll think about it.
it's okay. You already said no. It was fuckery. My brain started doing the thing, and I was like,
It's a good workaround for sure. Okay.
Okay.
I still have money and days left, but
Okay.
I'm a little torn on what I want to spend them on.
Sure.
I can either make 1 more uncommon item or 2 more tattoos, and I'm trying to decide if I want to like
I do have a question. It's a different
Sure.
equation that you'll have to think about. Do we have literally any potions?
So this is my alternative to potions because
Mhm.
these are more powerful than potions. Like an
True.
You could
uncommon,
fit a 3rd level.
You
Well,
can
cure
put
wounds in them.
a 3rd level cure wounds in this, as opposed to a 3rd level potion.
That's actually smarter
Which
than me
that's
choosing
good.
what I choose. That's a smarter idea than what I did.
Yeah, my tattoo should probably be like a 3rd level healing spell.
Are you like casting it?
No, I have to do aid.
What do you mean, me?
No, I mean like with the person with the tattoo.
Yes, they have to cast it.
Okay,
Yes.
so it's susceptible to counter spells.
it would be, yes, because it even
So-
says it has a normal casting time, range, duration. I think
Yes.
for all intents and purposes, you're just casting someone else's ability to cast magic, but it is still being casted, not.
Yeah.
Right. So just
Which
keep
is
that in
why I
mind,
want a glyph of
which-
warding.
Yeah, I
Right.
don't want cure wounds in. I still want aid.
But we also have to discuss my spell storing item. What do we want in it? Do we want vortex?
Ooh.
Our go-to has been vortex warp. I can also say cure wounds. It'll only be a level 2 cure wounds, but we could have 10 cure wounds for free.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll use vortex warp that much.
Because you have a spell
storing
ring.
It's not a spell storing. So I have a spell storing item that lets me store 10
Something
uses
specific
of a
with it.
2nd level spell. So also feel free, anything on that artificial list, level 1 or 2. Typically, I've been doing cure wounds or vortex warp.
I do like those options. They're both pretty good.
Yeah,
I like
having
Vortex Warp.
it's a great movement spell.
It
And
is. It
can
depends on how
you-
long we think this arena is going to be.
can you upcast cure wounds so it's a 2nd level if you do that? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope.
Isn't it so fucked up?
Artificers. Artificers. Fucking wild.
Fucking rules.
We should all be artificers. That's what I always say.
Too many magic items. Too many magic items.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, dude.
No one would.
And then how many can you attune to now? Like 4?
Yeah, I can attune to like 4 items at a time.
So crazy. Wild.
Which I'm gonna so here's what I'm gonna do. I have the option to change out infusions at this level. So I'm gonna give you get a hat of disguise from me as one of my infusions, Katya. So you can have that for free.
Thank you.
Because I think I can just have correct me if I'm wrong. Infusions I can have, they can all be active. It's just I can't attune to all of them. Is that right?
Sure. I mean, yeah, you could just make an item every day. Katya has a potion of greater healing.
Keep that in mind.
And to confirm, for the tattoo, do you have to? Can you make tattoo using your? Is it you use your spells, or you can make a tattoo and then a spell can get put into the ink? Like, is it all at once, or is it like sequential steps?
Say it again.
The tattoo, when you're making it, is it a magic item with the spell already in it, or is it one of those you can make the needle then put magic like you would a scroll?
Like
a sequential, or is it the same instance of a thing being made?
Like you're saying if you could have the needle just on standby kind of thing?
So like add a different spell or have someone else.
No, I put the spell into it because I'm creating the item. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying it needs to, you hold the needle. So I make the needle, contains a single spell up to 5th level, wrought on your skin by a magic needle. This tattoo, you must hold the needle against your skin and speak the command word. The needle turns into ink and becomes a tattoo. Yeah, so it's like the language around the tattoos is not super specific, but it is implied that whoever makes the needle is the one who infuses the spell into it. So it would have to be a spell I'm familiar with.
Yeah, I got nothing else. I found all my fuckeries.
Okay, I think my decision is I'm gonna give you a disguise self tattoo, Katya.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use my 2 last days are gonna be tattoos. So I'll go ahead and do 2 last rolls.
Y'all are just getting fucking tatted up.
Yeah.
Bro.
So I'm gonna do 2 more. Yeah. So another Arcana. So that's
33.
1 day. And then oh, it didn't like me again. Why did it do that? 23. Great.
Cool.
Okay.
Unsurprisingly.
Only once, right? You rolled under a 20?
Yes, on one of the
if
tattoos.
you had disadvantage.
No, I did roll.
There was a 19 in there.
Because I went ahead and did all my,
I didn't see.
I had like 6.
Cool.
I had like 6 tattoo rolls I did. One of them was a 19.
But are you going to do spell rot, or are you just going to do a plain old masquerade tattoo?
I was doing spell rot tattoos. What's the difference? Sorry, I don't know what masquerade tattoo is.
Oh, masquerade tattoo, you get like every day of a free use of disguise self.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, I've not heard of that.
It's also common, so it.
Yeah, it's common.
Well, there we go.
Oh. Well, then
Yeah,
I will
it's
make you one of those.
It's in
That'd be better.
Tasha's
Yeah, I
Cauldron
don't
of
wanna-
Everything.
I don't want to
Yeah.
waste
Okay.
resources.
Sorry, I
so
hadn't.
It does
heard of that.
require attunement.
What am I?
All tattoos do, I think.
What the hell?
No,
Not
they
the
don't.
spell route tattoos.
The spell
Really?
rot does not.
Beautiful.
You can have as many as you want.
Well, it's because it's a
tap me up, dog.
consumable,
Yeah.
so that's why it doesn't
Right.
require attunement.
I can give you a masquerade tattoo though.
I've gone through this whole list.
You have
I don't think I'm attuned to anything. Maybe my
Sun
sword.
Sword. Other
I think that's
other
it.
than that, I think that's it.
So I have attunement free. If you want to give me one of those.
Sure,
instead.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay,
incredible.
so here we
That'll
go,
work.
everyone. On the final day, as we're getting into preparation, everything's built up. I distribute the following items that are like nicely set in like little, just very basic silk wrapping. I present a pearl of power, and a pair of winged boots to Citron.
Yes.
As requested. I present the Rod of the Pack Keeper and the Cloak of Elven Kind to Lumari. I present and then also I have a bunch of, a big collection of needles. Of these, I draw out like a needle for the masquerade tattoo for you, Katya, so we will do that. And then there these really beautiful fine pin needles that have like really like delicate scripting on them that is like they're really beautiful art pieces to look at, but you will have to be tattooed. So once you tell me what you want, we just go down the line and do everyone's tattoos. And then I also give so I do everyone's tattoos, which everyone will get one. And then I have some extras that I'm going to use for myself. And then I also, after all that, I pull out a box that is like it looks like a suit, like a box, like a clothing box, like you'd see like a dress in or something. And I lay that on the table. I'm like, and this one is actually for you, Vaughn.
Oh, a box.
And on top of it, there is a decanter of endless water as well.
Yes.
So you have the decanter of endless water. So,
Can I open it, or is the box it? All right.
No, open it.
Ow.
You open the box, and inside is a light pink suit and tails, perfectly to your measurements. I thought this might look nice for the wedding. I know you were a little nervous about appearances and such, but you will not be out of place. It is demure enough. I went for sort of a wilted lily, pink rose kind of color. I think that would complement well. And then actually, most importantly, you see on like the lapel of it, there's a very intricate brooch. That is a parapet of wound closure.
Damn.
Just
I'm gonna hug Beatrice.
You're gonna look beautiful.
I hope so. I'm sorry that I'm going to get blood all over it.
That's all right. We can always clean it out.
Oh, yes.
Okay, and I still have a couple, and I have like this barest little clutch of like gold coins left. I think I have like 25 gold left out of everything. It went to very good use. But it did get used.
Well, we can't take it with us.
Thus, I conclude my presentation. Thank you.
Sure.
Woohoo!
All right.
Woo.
So, the conclusion of the preparations. You all ready yourselves for the night ahead. You exit the underwater bastion to find the nearest tree that Sorcerer can then use transport via plants. You arrive a bit away from Castle Ravenloft. So you're having to walk just a little. But when you finally arrive, you see guards up on the parapets. This castle looks more lively than you have ever seen, Beatrice. As the drawbridge connects with the other side of this giant chasm that splits the castle from everywhere else, you see this row of guards that lead you to the front. On the castle itself, you find 4 gargoyle-type dragons that are currently curled up, watching each of you walk down this walkway. As you enter in, You find a similar number of guards that lead to the Grand Hall. But before we get to that, we are going to end tonight's session. We'll pick it up. Actually, okay, so there is a point of order for everybody that's watching. So next week we will not be doing a stream. However, we will be doing a recording that will go live on the 27th of September. And then we will not be streaming on the 30th. So, we will not be here for 2 weeks, though we will have one episode. All of October is going to be dedicated to the final act of Ravenloft Mist-Fits. So, we are right at the end of this story here, and I am both excited and saddened to end it, but here we are. So, with that, make sure to level up, and we'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.